If you're thinking there's some secret methods the pros use to get more streams on their music, you're right. And the best methods are free. We're gonna go over this and more. Welcome back, I'm Music by Lucas, and for the past 3 years, I've been traveling full-time producing, DJing, speaking, and making tutorials and content to help music producers grow. And as always, one of the first 100 comments is going to win a free sound bank from my website, teammbl.com. So let's jump into it. Most artists just release a track, post it on their socials, and hope for the best. And then they're disappointed when they don't get very good streaming numbers, and they're left thinking that they need to start spending a bunch of money on ads or get signed to a major label if they ever want to get more streams. But the secret is that ads and labels never guarantee streams, and a lot of artists will spend a bunch of money on ads, or they will finally get signed to that major label and get let down as well when they still don't result in many streams. So today, what we're gonna go over is 7 ways that you can promote your music for free and get more streams. Number 1 is to make your track more searchable. One example is the tutorial example, because a lot of people aren't searching for music from artists they don't know, but they are searching for tutorials on how to, let's say, make a big drop lead. And if your track has a big drop lead in this example, you can make a tutorial on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, how to make a big drop lead. And then in the tutorial, you go over your track, you have the link to the track, and you say, this is how I made the lead for my track. You can check it out here, whatever. And now you have something searchable that all these people can find when they weren't even looking for you, they were looking for something else, and now you're reaching a new audience, you got new fans checking out your music. But there's a lot more methods to make your music more searchable, which we'll go over in a second. But step number 2, very important, give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Step number 2 is send your tracks to DJs for their radio shows, their mixes, and their playlists. You might think that DJs are not gonna check your emails, are not gonna be, looking for your unsigned tracks, but actually, a lot of them have radio shows and they're actively looking for promos for those radio shows to support. So what you need to do is figure out these DJs' promo mails, or if they have a website submission form, you can find a lot of these emails and contacts on Discord, for example, by asking other producers, or by simply just DMing the DJs and say, what's your promo mail? What is your, what's the best way to send you a track? And you can also figure out which DJs have radio shows, for example, by going to 1001 track list and just looking at all of those track lists there, because those are all different shows. Not only that, you could go to Spotify and you could search a DJ. Like, let's say you're like, does Mike Williams have a support playlist on Spotify? We'll just go search him and see if he has any playlists. This is how a lot of artists start to grow their streams, because again, a lot of people may not be looking for an unsigned artist they don't know, but they are listening and looking at Hexagon Radio, for example. So if you can send your track to Hexagon or other radio shows and get supported on there, now your music is now in front of new people. Number 3 is send your music to YouTube support channels. There's a lot of YouTube channels that are also looking for and promoting new music from new artists. So all you need to do is find those YouTube support channels and find the best method to either email them, submit on their website submission form. You can go to the About section on their YouTube profile to see if they have contact information, or you can just do a Google search or go to their Instagram and see if you can find it there. Your real goal with all of this is to start making a list, because you don't want to have to always be researching for all of these channels every single time. So you want to have like a breakdown, like an Excel spreadsheet. You can use something like my track release planner, which I'll put the link to, or you can make your own and just start really creating your own list. And that's why it's also important to not just use someone else's list, because you might be thinking, where can I just Google one of these lists and find it? Well, the thing is, every person's list should be different, because every person's music is different. Like, you wouldn't want to send, if you have like Future House, to a big room playlist. You need it to be very specific. Number 4 is to collab with influencers, big and small. Don't forget the small ones. A lot of people, when they think influencers, they're thinking about accounts that have like 100,000 or more followers. But honestly, anyone, even 1,000 followers and up, maybe even less sometimes, can be impactful to help you get more streams, more new followers checking out your music. And the biggest thing is, when you want to collab with an influencer, just tell them, what you plan to do. Are you going to also shout them out on your socials if they do like a dancing video or something like that? Like, how can you collaborate together instead of just sending them a track and being like, hey, you should make a video with this? Number 5, submit your music to playlists on Spotify, Apple Music, and more. When you're uploading your tracks to Spotify, anyone can submit, for example, to Spotify editorial playlists, which just means the playlist that Spotify themselves create. And the way you do this is through Spotify for Artists, which is a special website that they make just for the artists that are uploading on Spotify. You can also, of course, submit to non-Spotify run playlists. Like for example, we have playlists that are free to submit to, which you can submit to on our Discord, and you basically just want to try to create like your own list, again, using the track release planner or creating your own Excel sheet, but you're trying to create your own list of contacts for Spotify playlists so you can start to grow that network for your future releases. Be careful when people try to charge you though for Spotify placements, because technically it is against Spotify's terms and conditions and it can get you into trouble. You also don't know 100% like if those streams are real for these non-Spotify playlists, so it can get you into some trouble there too. Maybe you're paying for bots to be listening to your track, which would be terrible, because actually when you're getting fake plays, it will actually punish you from getting on Spotify's editorial playlist, because those bots aren't saving your track, they aren't following you, they aren't like, doing the things that a normal person would do, and the algorithm can tell basically that it's a bot, so it's not really gonna benefit you in having your track's popularity score go up, which is really important if you do wanna get on those Spotify editorial playlists. Next is a remix contest. This is a really good way to not only have your audience get to know you better and participate in remixing your track, but also when they remix your track, they are posting it and getting the word out to their followers, new people that might not know you. And I got a message from someone when I talked about this on Instagram, and they said, remix contests aren't free, you gotta pay for the prizes. Actually, you can do a lot of free prizes. Like for example, with my remix contest with Mixmash, it was $0, and it worked really well. We almost got 1,000 submissions, and you might not get that many submissions. Maybe you're gonna get 50 submissions or 100 submissions or less, but it's going to be helpful, and it's going to help your followers, like I said, get to know you better, promote your music on other platforms, and if you do it right, maybe you can collab with the label you're releasing with or the other artist that's on your track if it's a collab, and you can make it even bigger. Also, remixing tracks yourself for other artists is a great way to get more streams. We'll just put that in as a bonus tip, but if you release a track as a remix, you get streams from that person's profile on Spotify as well, and sometimes artists will even pay you to do a remix, especially as you get a little bigger, so you can actually make money with that one. And finally, release consistently. Now this might sound like an easy one, you might be like already skipping the video, but don't, because actually releasing consistently is one of the best ways to get more streams because of things like Release Radar. Release Radar is a playlist on Spotify where Spotify sends out to its listeners, these are the artists you normally listen to and they have a new track out now, you should go check it out. The way that you get consistently on something like Release Radar is for you to release consistently, because whatever your audience is listening to will be more likely on their Release Radar. So if you take like 3 months off, well, they're not gonna be listening to you as much because they got a whole bunch of new tracks, so they're gonna have new people on their Release Radar that aren't you. So you might be asking, how often should you release then? Well, really, it's up to you. There's not really like an exact number. For some people, they say like once every 2 months. Some people, like I've seen Moti, he releases a track a week, and it's really just about what works best for you and your audience. So just check your analytics and take it from there. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that bell button to be notified about future videos. If you like my tips here, but you just want more one-on-one attention, you can become an official member of my team at teammbl.com/join. We work together on video chat and have masterclasses and demo drops with some of the world's biggest record labels and DJs. And now, some more helpful producer videos.